Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to create a new workspace and then provisioning the same infra inside the new workspace. Okay, which means we are going to use the same working directory with same C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6 related Terraform configuration files, and then we are going to provision the dev infrastructure in dev workspace. Okay, for that purpose, the first step is to create a new workspace. So you can create using Terraform workspace new dev. Okay, so let's go here, and we still didn't clear the default workspace, and then those EC2 instances, if you remember, those are already there, and then those are running. If you see here, those are running. Okay, so let's leave them like that and then focus on the new workspace. So let's consider this default workspace as production workspace, and then you provision those things using the same Terraform configuration files. Okay, now we are going to provision the dev infrastructure using same Terraform configuration files using the workspace concept. Okay, so now Terraform workspace new dev. Okay, so this should create the dev workspace for us. Okay, so now created and switch it to that dev workspace. Now you should be in the dev workspace. So if you say Terraform workspace list should show us the list of workspaces default and then dev, but star is showing for dev, which is saying that you are in the dev workspace. If you want, you can say dev Terraform workspace and then show. It will show you in which workspace you are currently present. I am present in dev workspace. Okay, and if you see here in the dev workspace, the first things what you need to see is in the working directory. Okay, irrespective of whether you are in dev or anywhere, whenever you create a new workspace, there will be something created. Okay, so what is that? By default, when it is only default workspace and no other workspaces are there, your terraform.tf state file will be created in the working directory which belongs to the default workspace. But now when you created a new workspace, it created a folder for you here. Okay, so which is nothing but a directory. So which is nothing but terraform.tfstate.d. Okay, inside that, if you see the workspace name, okay, with the dev it has created. Okay, so if you go inside that, nothing is there because you still didn't provision any infrastructure, but the folder structure is already created and then put that ready. So now let's come out of these things, and you are in the v1 local backend, right? So now let's go back here and then start running the Terraform plan and then see what happens. Okay, so Terraform plan, so it should tell us it need to create 3 resources now. Okay, one is EC2 instance, and then another 2 is going to be our security groups. So it is showing 3 to add. Okay, and only one EC2 instance, you can see only one value here for public IP and then public DNS, and 2 security groups. Okay, now for that EC2 instance also you can see only with 0. Okay, after that automatically you will see the security groups. So now important thing here is what is happening here. Okay, so you are in the dev workspace. Okay, now let's see the condition here. Count is equal to terraform.workspace is equal to default create 2. Any other workspace create 1 instance, you said. Okay, so now I am in dev workspace, it is creating 1 instance for me. Okay, so now the next thing is, if you want, you can go ahead and then say Terraform apply auto approve to create the resources for us. So once the resources are created, we'll go ahead and then review them. Okay, at the same time we'll also review the state file also. Okay, let the resources get created first. We can see now one EC2 instance got created and its public IP and then public DNS also displayed here. So now let's go back here and verify the Terraform state file. Okay, so ls lrta and cd to terraform.tfstate.d, and inside that you will find dev folder, and inside that you will find the terraform.tfstate file. This is for dev environment. Okay, so let's come out of here, and you can reference them from our Visual Studio Code also. So this is the folder it created, and inside the dev folder is there. Inside that you have the terraform.tfstate file. Okay, you can see the public IP here matches with the public IP whatever got here. Okay, 34.202.236. Good, right? Your dev Terraform state file you can see. So now in simple terms what we can tell is whatever the workspaces you create, each workspace is going to have its own terraform.tf-state file to manage those infrastructures. Okay, not all those things are clubbed under the main terraform.tf-state file which is created in the local backend, which is the working directory. So each one will have their own terraform.tf-state files. Okay, so now let's also review the EC2 instance it got created. So you can see VM-dev-0, which means VM-workspace name hyphen and then count.index. So that's about the VM instance. In the same way, if you want, you can even see the security groups for this. It should have been already created. So VPC, SSH dev and then web dev. Okay, and same will be also assigned here, right? So you can see here also. So VPC web dev and then SSH dev for this one, and for the above ones, above two, you will find VPC web default and then SSH default. Based on the workspace names, those were created. Okay, so now let's go here. All the observations also completed. So this completes the creation of new workspace and then provisioning the infra inside that new workspace. Okay, in our next lecture, we'll focus on switching workspaces and then destroying resources. So whatever we have created, we are going to clean up all those things in our next lecture. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Thank you.